Welcome to MotoGP Mac, where Rosie O'Donnell now resides, and everyone fears to tread.
Yes, we'll try that one. What's up?
Let's change it up a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's a national embarrassment, isn't it?
Oh, which one?
Rosie O'Donnell lives there in Ireland now.
She is actually. She was on the telly there on Friday night. I didn't watch it. I just heard about it. Anyway, how are we all doing?
Excellent.
Waiting for the goddamn winter to die off. God damn. That's like herpes. Just when you think it's gone, it pops back up again.
I don't know. I've never had herpes. But
nice you saying you wait for the winter?
No, winter to go away.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Well, the sun is shining here today in Ireland. As you can see, it is a bright day in my room. So the sun is most definitely shining. Lots to talk about this week. Apologies that there was a breakdown in communication last week. No one was receiving my texts, which is very, very weird. And yes, I did pay the phone bill, just so people but yeah, so lots to talk about. Last week's race, and also this week's race coming up in COTA.
Yes.
So last week's race, what do we talk about really? Marc Marquez domination. I think. Look, Marc rode a really, really impressive race. Really, really. If I could say, it was the copycat week of Thailand. Do you know what I mean? He won the sprint. He shot off at the start, fell back behind Alex, closed the gap. Few laps to go, won the race again. I don't think there's much that you can say about. Like, he has been dominant. He's obviously riding through whatever problems that is with that 23, right? Because the other two riders on the 25s, sorry, the other two riders on the 25s are struggling. Now, when we say struggling, this is one of the things. Like, there's an awful lot of shit out there in the press. Like, Pecco's under pressure. Pecco's worried about this. Pecco's not worried. Do you know what I mean? He's frustrated. I can guarantee you that he's frustrated, but he's not worried. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't have the feel, he's not going to push, right? And that's what he said. I don't have the feeling. But this is not new at all. And anyone who thinks this is new is fucking very seriously mistaken. Yeah. We all know after Misano last year on the 24, Pecco was openly admitting that he's struggling. He's lost the feel at the front.
Every year.
But even after Misano, when he was going head to head with Martin, he wasn't afraid of Martin. He just didn't have the feel in the bike that Martin had. Mm-hmm. And I read comments saying, "Oh, Pecco's not copying Martin's setup, so that's why he's off." Now, first and foremost, like, Pecco is off by maybe 1 or 2 tenths of a second a lap race pace, right? So if he was copying Martin's thing, or wasn't copying Martin's thing, he wouldn't be. No, they were saying he was copying Martin's settings last year and trying to copy Marc's this year, right? He wouldn't be that close, or he wouldn't be that far, right? We know Marc is very much so pointy end, and Pecco's not that sort of rider. He does like to feel the front, but he doesn't really like to depend 100% on it. So he's not going to go Marquez's route. But when I looked back at how Pecco has got on from the start of the season every year, he's equaled his best amount of points for the first 2 races since the sprint races have come in. So he's doing, in what I would call points wise, his standard. Now, the problem that he does have is Mr. Marquez is very consistently beating him, right? And finishing. And when he does finish, he's finishing up the top. But Mr. Marquez is also as likely to throw it up the road as Pecco. So if Pecco is going to dial back a small bit, is he just trying to score as many points as he can and see where he'll end up? Like, chasing Marc, you're going to have to go over the limit. And is that worth it?
No.
Alex has definitely found something on the GP24 that suits him. So I think it's just, I think the game of patience, I think is what Pecco is playing. Like, I know, and I always look at things like this in the press. When you see the likes of Crash and GP1 and them, they're quoting Neil Hodgins or TNT Sports writers from the telly, then it's a very slow or a very slow news week and whatnot. But what Hadji did say is that like Pecco has to change his approach to the Friday practice sessions. He probably does, right? Because Pecco tends to be slower and a good chunk slower in those sessions. And like the only relevance that you could say is that in the last one in Argentina, he was like 1.3 seconds off Mark's pace. Now that was on one of his hot laps, right? But he was in around 1.6. And what Hadji was saying, and I think this makes a little bit of sense, is that his reference point of 1.6 seconds was far too far off of what he needed to be. He needed to be within that second or about a second to where Mark's reference was to get any realistic data of what the bike is doing. And now look, we said this many times, is that the test riders need to be within a second of the main riders. So I just think it's very interesting. I personally believe, if I was Pecco 2 or 3 races into the European season and this is still going on, then yeah, that's the time to worry or be frustrated or whatnot. But he doesn't seem to be now, and you can see in their interactions as well that Pecco still believes they're equal. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't seem to be bowing down.
He hasn't broke him yet. He's still looking for that. Like I said, he's still looking for that setup. He's still looking for that hookup to bring him in line, where he's going to be going toe to toe with Marquez. And I think he can.
And I think he can. I think he'll find it. I have no doubt that he'll find it. It's just how fast can they find it? That's the thing. And we're talking 0.2 of a second maximum. Like, because if you look at the races, if you finish a 25 lap race 5 seconds behind, that's only 1 or 0.2 a second a lap. Just be fair.
These beginning races, Pecco never found change in his pocket, more or less a setting in these circuits.
Yeah.
It's always been once he gets into Europe, then he finds the footing, and then he goes like the bat out of hell.
Yeah, and exactly. But like when we look at things, like for example, like COTA is a Mark circuit this weekend.
Yeah.
You expect Mark to win there, right? It will be more interesting for me this weekend to see where Alex is. This is one of Alex's bogey circuits. Now, if Alex goes well here in podium contention again, then you know that Alex has definitely found something on that GP24.
Yeah.
So, but then I'd be interested to see Mark when he gets back into Europe. The circuits get a little bit tighter. Do you know what I mean? Where are we going? And obviously the ones that are not left corner dominant, which 2 of the tracks that we have, there have been really quick left-handers in there. Do you know what I mean? So, so they suit Marky Marquez. Like, let's be fair. Like on his hot laps, through a long, fast left-hand corner, he can pull 3 or 4 tenths from everybody. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. So,
who else is hot lapped on loves COTA? I'm having a brain fart here.
Alex Rins.
That's exactly it. Rins.
Yeah. Maverick Vinales, Wonder.
They're inconsistent. Rins is inconsistent.
Yeah.
I heard he doesn't like the he's saying the Yamaha is there's no more development into it.
In which?
In the Yamaha, the YZF
he said it's not coming along.
Yeah. Look, we'll talk about Yamaha in a while, because I think
jump around.
It's a pretty poisonous place to be right now for Yamaha, if I'm honest. I think, though, for me, the person who stood out the most in Argentina was Johann Zarco. I was fucking screaming at the telly, and I'm not a Honda fan, lads. I'm not. But genuinely seeing him up there on race pace, like in the sprint, and he was fucking keeping Pecco honest. Do you know what I mean? And in the main, and you were just like, on you go, fella, on you fucking go. Like, do you know what I mean? I just like, I thought to myself, fair play to you, like, and let's be fair,
riding his ass off. That is a man riding possessed.
He is, and a thought did go in my head of like, what if Mark actually stayed there?
He would.
What if he stayed there? He would definitely have been troubling the Ducatis at the front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That freaking Honda.
If an ordinary rider can put that up into 4th and 5th place, we've always said it. What can an alien do? And Zarco is an ordinary rider, lads. He's not a fucking super alien. He's not an alien.
No.
He's nowhere near that,
But he had his moments in his career where he was rocked and rolling.
Yeah, but he's had 2 consistent fucking moments in 2025. Did you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's been dancing up there. He
was always like top 5, right? Top 5, top 6 for Ducati.
I think
on a Ducati, like that's you know what I mean? Like you put nearly anyone on a Ducati now, any experienced rider on a Ducati now, and they are a top 5 rider easy. Do you know what I mean? So
look how clean cut and professional Zarco looks, and look how well he's riding. I swear, there's always something. It's the same with fighters. When you see them, they come in and they go from being scraggly looking to, clean cut, professional. They have the mindset of I want to win, and it pays out.
He's very analytic. He's very focused on what he's done. He used to be a very whingy rider. Someone recently was speaking out about his behavior in KTM, and he was whinging and moaning and complaining, and then KTM just fucked him out. Like, do you know what I mean? They got rid of him. Do you know what I mean? Because of that attitude. So I think he learned his lesson. He's gone into Honda. He's not in like. Let's be fair. When we all heard that Zarco signed for Honda, we were like, "Are you for fucking real, man?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I'm delighted to say that he's proved us wrong. Do you know, like he's getting the results out of the bike. And like when you look at how Sunday's race finished, we had 3 Hondas in the top 10.
Yeah, I know. I said 3 Hondas in the top 10, and if I was talking to myself and I said, "That's it, no concessions for them." No, that's it. You don't get any more.
Well, now you see,
anybody else would be if the reverse was. If it was Ducati in the same situation, they reversed it, they would have taken their freaking concessions away.
No, they can't until mid-year.
Yeah.
So mid-year, what will happen is it's really actually doable, right? If Honda have outscored Yamaha and Aprilia and KTM, then they'll go up on the percentage of the points scored, right? So they could jump a class very, very quickly, and they could lose thing. And remember this, right? Their engine that they are running at that point will have to be their engine until the end of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that.
Okay.
If you're in class D of the concessions, you have free engine development. However, if you score enough points and move to class C, you lose that. You have to see your engine.
For Honda, watch.
That's big.
I don't think so. That's the way the rules are written. Unless I'm.
I hasn't stopped them before.
Yeah, well,
we're going to go unilateral on this and drive because we said so.
Yeah. No. I think that'll be the way it'll go, because if they lose the concessions, that's one of the written concessions in the class D. So you could see 2 races before it, they all start crashing again. You know what I mean? And then they score no fucking points, and then Everything is done. But for me, I was very, very pleasantly surprised to see the Hondas up there, and it wasn't until Agora got kicked out of the race that obviously Marini got into the top 10. The KTMs, they are in the biggest pile of poo I've ever seen. They're actually so last that Honda look like they've direction. It
reminded me when we first started up this site. Remember when you first started up and we were having a discussion who has the biggest pile of scrap was a Honda versus KTM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
who was first.
Yeah, and look, this is the point of where I was really worried about with KTM and the whole financial fiasco, let's just call it. What's happening now is that KTM are now trying to have to redevelop that bike to find out what the fuck is causing the problem, and that takes a lot of fucking that, of that. And guess what? They don't have a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right. So that is the major worry. Like, I can 100% see Pedro Acosta on a Ducati next season in VR46 or a Honda.
VR46.
VR6. Yeah, he'd have to be nuts to go into the Honda.
I don't know, man.
So they would have to drop
if the Honda is performing better than the KTM, would you sign a 1-year deal?
Why would you pick it over the VR46? You know?
But then you're saying that, right? Look, if you look at the VR46, right? If Morbidelli keeps going the way he's going and top 4s and top 5s, bringing home solid points,
I still fight. Yeah, but he's had so many times where he was down. I still pick Acosta all day long.
Oh, you would, yeah. But then you're in a choice between Digi and Acosta then, do you know what I mean? And then you're kind of looking at Ducati, because Ducati will be like, oh, well, actually, no, we want Digi for he's younger. And look, there's a whole money will talk or exchange heads, one or the other. But I think it was really good to see Morbidelli up there battling. And, you know, the other side of the coin, it was good to see that while they are buddies, there was no favoritism between Morbidelli and Pecco. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people on forums and this were like, oh, why didn't Morbidelli roll off and let Pecco take third? And that's not racing, folks. Do you know what I mean? That's not racing. And all's fair in love and war when it comes to racing. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you something. There is one person in my mind that is definitely in a place for a summer ejection seat. Mm-hmm. Raul Fernandez.
Not surprised.
Fucked. Absolutely.
He jumped on the bike.
Like, a young rookie has come in, spent 6 days riding a MotoGP bike, and pissed him. Right? And everyone's like, and even including myself, was like, it was one race. It was one race. He tested there before. Yeah, and then he comes out in the second race and he does it again. I pissed him. Absolutely fucking, yeah, go drown in my urine, fella. Do you know what I mean? That's just like...
That was a vision I didn't need.
Yeah. Drown. Bubble. Anyway, but yeah, like, it's one of those things where you're looking at him and you're just going like, sorry, man. And I think he now feels how Augusto Fernandez felt last year going up against Acosta. Do you know what I mean? Now, is Agura on the stratosphere of Acosta? I don't know yet. But saying that, it's a really, really interesting, funny thing for me, because we've all said that Fernandez wasn't worth the seat, and there was a lot of people who were like, oh, well, he is, and loyalty and all this, and you're like, okay, like, he shouldn't be there. Let's just be fair. He should not be in that seat. And and he can moan, bitch, and complain about the bike all he wants to. He's been on the 23 version, the 24 version, and the 25 version. So he knew where this bike was going. He knew the direction it was going.
He's been dead last on the charts.
Well, he hasn't been dead last because
every teammate feed him. Every teammate outrun him.
They have, yeah. Look, it's just definitely a very, very difficult place for him. But like realistically, you're looking at even the people that didn't get a spot. Like dare I say it? People will laugh at me now. Would you not prefer to see Andre Iannone on a fucking Aprilia? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, anybody.
On anything, yeah.
So
you got two guys that need to get booted.
Yeah, so just someone like that. And I'm not just saying that, but I was just thinking like someone, or even Toprak.
Oh God, Toprak would be wonderful on that. Yeah, take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so I think Trackhouse Racing should be looking around to get rid of him. Like if he's going to bring fuck all to the season, give him to the summer. You have a couple of races to perform. Don't perform. Sorry, chap. Mm-hmm. Get someone in who you can build your future around.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Actually, Toprak's a great fucking pick if you think about it.
Yeah. Like it's all works equipment. It's all works equipment.
Yeah.
All of this stuff,
Strong equipment. It's not like it's fourth on the line. It's better than the KTM. It's better than the Yamaha and all the Japanese bikes. I mean, there's something to work off of. Yeah,
and then look, I suppose we need to talk a little bit about Yamaha. Actually made me sad. Actually watching them, like I had a lot of hope for Bartoloni, right? And he seems to have made a bike that just fucking chews the rear tire, and that's it. Done. Goosed. Yeah.
Yeah. When I say you have to have European engineers, you have to have more than one. They got to hire a bunch of them. It's not a one trick wonder, one guy wonder, where they're going to come in there and switch it around. Even when everybody talks about Gigi didn't come in from Aprilia to whatchamacallit with one engineer, to Ducati with one engineer. He came in there with one. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, look, it's. I suppose. Look, it is one of those things where we were all kind of, I suppose, hoping that Ducati, or sorry, that Yamaha had kind of learned an awful lot last year, but haven't seemed to learn much. Do you know what I mean? The bike isn't going forward; it's going backwards. And you look at it now, and like I would circle it in this way: that is, it's now Yamaha and KTM are the back markers. Do you know what I mean? Now, even though Costa and Binder did quite well into the top 10, both Yamaha's races have been fucking dismal, absolutely fucking dismal. And I saw there was some negativity in the comments about Jack, and what Jack is still very happy with the bike, but all Jack doesn't know is the tires. He doesn't know whether it's better to go the hard or the soft, because the fucking thing is chewing the tires, regardless of what you've done. And like Rins' comments there in the last one was like, just let me enjoy the first part of the race. And what that is saying is like, well, I just go out in the softs because I want to go out in the softs. Even though the team were telling him you need to go in the medium, he was like, oh, I'll go out in the softs and I'll enjoy the first part of the race and survive. Which for me is just like,
no, that's a horrible strategy. Jack, I feel like Jack has been doing an amazing job.
I think he is.
He's like top. He's in the top 10 and that's his first time riding the Yamaha.
Look, he's not doing bad. Look, he's doing his usual Jack Miller stuff. He starts strong, fades, right? It's grand. It's fine. That's Jack. He's in a team, Pramac, who absolutely adored him when he was there on a Ducati. He's
not last, though.
He's in a very good spot, really. Let's be fair, right? And
he's doing better.
He's doing better. Like he's doing better than Fabio.
That's big to me. Hey, you're doing better than the top person over there, the top rider.
Yeah, which for me, look, I think it's good, but I'm very worried about their development plan.
They got to do something.
I'm as worried about Yamaha as I am about Enea Bastianini, if I'm very honest. Do you know what I mean? Enea is fucked, man. He is absolutely. He hates
talk about a letdown over a season from when he started. He was almost started out his career as a GOAT, okay? And then somebody flushed the toilet on him. You know what I mean?
Oh, big time. Big time. 100%. And I couldn't agree with you more. And it's just... It's actually like a Miguel Oliveira career. Do you know what I mean? Whatever can go wrong is going wrong, right? Or every time you step foot out onto the circuit, it's like someone is throwing a fucking dart on the bullseye. I'll just fucking hit him or torpedo him or fucking do this to him.
Yeah, somebody's throwing marbles in front of him. You know what I mean? If he walks.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those things that you're just kind of
I thought you were going to say somebody else.
What do you mean?
I thought you were going to say Bez.
Bez is not doing too bad, but Bez is just Bez. Do you know what I mean? And
it's like he's throwing everything.
Yeah,
seems like he's throwing everything at it, and it's just not coming together.
But like he is enjoying being the number one rider. Let's not let's not look at sideways at that, right? Like realistically, Savadori is what, but it's about 1200, maybe 1.3, 1.4 seconds behind him, right? So he is enjoying being the rider, but then that comes with an awful lot of pressure of trying to get things right. And look, he's done everything from duff the fucking start to make silly mistakes in turn one, and that's more pressure cooker related stuff to me than not getting the best out of the bike. When he gets into the rhythm and you watch him in the practice sessions, look, he does look like the old Bezzecchi of 2023.
I was gonna say three or four. I think 3.
Yeah, 24. He wasn't great. He hated the bike, and it was something. It was something pretty weird. And one of the questions actually that was put out, right, was recently that I saw that Mark started coming into his zone on the 23 mid-season last year, right? And so did Bezzecchi in around the same race. And people reckon it wasn't just the flywheel that they changed in that engine. People reckon that there was other bits of the 24 were going into that bike. And then there was murder because the others weren't getting it. I don't know. But Bezzecchi, if you remember, Bezzecchi had 2 or 3 good races, and then they blamed the flywheel being removed. Remember, Marquez blew up something. Was it Marquez? Yeah, Marquez's bike. Year? Was it Marquez's bike blew up, or someone's bike blew up, and they blamed the flywheel, the new flywheel that they put on the 23 engine. I don't know. There's an awful lot of.
Yeah. I remember that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they were back down a couple of tenths of a second. So they reckon that they removed more parts than just the flywheel from the engine. The other thing, so apparently Dorna have signed a new contract with this AI crowd company for piracy of the MotoGP races. So really? So one of the things that you do see an awful lot of, and technically we used to do it ourselves, was that we would put the timing screen up and all of this. And about mid last year, it nearly took down this channel actually that they did a double strike on copyright, which then you get one more and then you're done. your channel is removed. But they've launched this massive thing about piracy and all of this, and it's actually really weird that it came up, because I think they're going to go after anyone now using any media from MotoGP. So
really?
So yeah,
someone might wonder how the hell we're getting away with it, you know?
Yeah, basically they'll have bots now trawling.
Especially those Taiwanese stations were getting, they come in, they didn't speak English, they're doing the whole race. You know?
Yeah, or you go into the race, and what they have is the video game of a race.
Yeah,
and they have the
man, I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah. So people do it. Jorge Martin.
What about the big news? We didn't even go over that.
Which is big news?
The big news of tires. Pirelli.
We did.
Pirelli.
Yeah.
We did that there about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
is there anything else on that?
Did that? No, there's nothing else major on that. There's like, yeah, we did do that about 3.
Pirelli.
No, you actually mentioned it in the podcast about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, did I? Right, okay.
Yeah. We got new rubber.
Oh, that's right, I did.
Anyway, yeah. Right. So Jorge Martin, man, like, he's eager to get back. Obviously, look, he's impatient. He wants to get back. I get it. Like, he's not going to make COTA. He's aiming for Qatar, and I'm like, would you not just wait to Europe? Would you just not wait? Do you know what I mean? Leave your hand that you can take a slap. For me, it's like a boxer going back into a ring and punching a fellow full force into the face just after breaking his wrist or something 3 weeks earlier. Like, just give it just give yourself a chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, more or less, realistically, after COTA, Marquez have scored full points, right? I would reckon, unless Mark shows down the road, right? It's already over for him.
Oh yeah.
Realistically, he's the bones of 100 points behind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. Now, okay, Mark doesn't bounce as well as he used to. Let's just put that. And like I reckon a big one is coming for Mark. I think Mark is going to get too confident, and he's going to have a big one, right? No, touch wood, actually, no, because I don't hope it does, but I have that. Do you know the way you have that feeling in your wallet? He's just getting too cocky. Do you know what I mean?
I have a feeling that he's going to, the opposite. He's going to start thinking he can't crash and just back. You ever see somebody who backs off and crashes?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But he's going to have a big one.
Yeah, he's going to back off and crash. Yeah, he's not going to be he's not going to run his 10 tenths like he usually does, and he's going to crash. Yeah.
So, but like saying that, what Martin has done, he obviously, look, he damaged himself in preseason testing. He damaged his hand now again, do you know what I mean, in preparation, because he came back too quickly. Do you know what I mean? And now it's time, just sit and take your fucking medicine. Do you know what I mean? And unless you can punch the wall and not hurt your hand, then you can come back. Do you know what I mean? But
and can he do testing? I saw that somewhere.
So yeah, so there was. So it just shows you how, firstly, how big of a threat that Ducati believe Martin is that they turned around and said no, that he can't. So basically, what Rivola put in was a request that have a meeting in Austin that would allow injured riders who miss more than 2 or 3 races to do a one-day test on getting back into shape before they get back on the bike again. Now, look, there are some merits to that, right? On a super bike with slicks, you can't really get the forces that you could get going in a thing. But for me, it's nothing to do with safety. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with there's no reason to do an in-season change for it. If they want to agree it in the regulations for next year, fine. But what Rivola is trying to do is he's trying to get an advantage for Martin to come back. And basically every other team has said yes, except for Lenovo, Ducati Lenovo, right?
They're upset.
You know what? That's actually good to see, because they're tired of them getting stepped on like a mat. Everybody's always asking them for something else, but nobody ever gives them dick.
Well, look, Tardazzi was saying basically he was just like, well, look, Enya got injured early for us. No one gave us this concession. No one was up for it. No one was this, that, and the other. If you want to do it, let's do it next year. Fine. But
did they deny it? Did he try to do that with Enya?
No, they didn't, because it was banned. Like, you're not allowed. You get injured, there's no testing unless you go to an official test. That's it. And that's also the problem with this, is that every time a MotoGP bike starts, there's data, right? And that person, let's just be fair, right? For a MotoGP rider to get dialed back into a MotoGP bike, it's 10 laps. Maybe 20. Just 20 laps, right? If you look at that on the average of, I think that's 1 hour, just say in a test, right? You get 20 laps done in 1 hour. You still have 7 hours worth of testing that you can do. So my view of it, Jorge Martin and Aprilia would be getting a free test session to run for the full day. And that's it. And I'm like, no, like there would have to be an awful lot of stuff put in there to say, for example, if they were to do this, that the bike has to be the same spec of the bike that it was in January or the first race of the season.
Right.
You can't run new aero. You can't run different weight balances. You can't run this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? You have to, like, that test has to be so irrelevant to performance in the way of anything, really. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
no development. Just strictly riding. That's it.
Yeah, but you see, the problem is that every time a bike runs, it's development. Even if you're testing fucking nothing, right? The temperature of the track between the morning and the afternoon, completely different. Therefore, you're gathering new data. So the air pressure, it's every time there is a unique factor that bike runs. That's data. That's data. That's helping their algorithms. It's helping the engineers. It's helping everything. So it's a very, very distinct advantage.
The Formula One car, they had a computer. The computer was the size of a tractor trailer. The computer body in itself. Okay, like our PCs are what this big, inside. Theirs is the size of a tractor trailer inside. Now, how much data are they collecting? They must be able to tell you how many rocks are on the damn track. So I know this for a fact. In 2013, the session data for the Ferrari Formula One team from free practice 1 was 13 gigabytes per car. And that was beamed from trackside in Ferrari in Silverstone to Maranello direct via the internet, via their own satellite receivers and whatnot. 13 gigabytes per car. That means that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
The more data you have, the better. I mean,
yeah.
And now it's up into the terabytes.
Yeah.
So you
say it's like 200 sensors, right? 200 or more.
Yeah, but like this was fairly sophisticated cars, and now they're extremely sophisticated, and it's up into the terabytes. And it could be. I don't even want to hazard to guess. But like you can see it, like if you've ever been to an F1 paddock, you can see out the back the trucks, and they have the big antennas up to beam the data straight up. And even now, so they have it so much that they have live. So the data comes from the car to the servers in the pits, and then from the pits direct into it. So like you look at it, like Ferrari, McLaren, Aston Martin, all of these, Red Bull, they all have their own version of mission control, like you have in fucking NASA, and they're watching the real-time data, and then they have banks of strategists and this and that and the other feeding back to the pit wall. It's fucking immense, man. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, like I hope
sneezes or farts, it throws up a megabyte, you know, on the
yeah,
what's that? I don't know. I think you sneezed. Farted, one of the two.
That's it. Yeah. But no, look, it's just one of these things that you know, data is king, like, and you know, every bit of data that you can get, you know, every time that bike engine starts, data is being gathered. I suppose one of the things we need to talk about is dear old Simon. I believe actually it's his wedding anniversary this weekend.
Congrats, Simon.
Yeah, congrats.
But I think he's been fairly consistent over his first few races, you know, with penalties and this, and you know, he's definitely has the grid on warning anyway. Like, you know what I mean, that you're not going to get away with it, and don't be a dickhead, you know. And it's very important. Like, it is an important job, but I think the riders have a good amount of respect for him. So it is interesting to see how things will progress. But I think so far he's doing a pretty good job. Like, even with the junior classes, you know what I mean? It is that, you know.
They need it. They need.
I think they do. Yeah.
You muted yourself.
You just turned off. There you go. Turn back on again.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Stupid microphone. Yeah, I think I just think he's been doing a pretty good job lately. And I've been actually getting the junior classes, and you know, he's consistent. He is consistent, to be fair. There was other, I suppose, this weekend coming up. We have COTA.
COTA, he's thinking that.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to try and go to COTA for 2025, correct?
Yes.
We'll have a stand, a little like a lemonade stand outside.
Yeah.
With Honda.
Oh yeah. Actually, we're not going to COTA, Honda. We'd be fucking taken out.
No.
Yeah, we'd be fucking taken out. Yeah. So, yeah. Look, it's very hard to look past Mark on a weekend like this, you know.
I could see him crashing on this one. I could see him crashing.
Just see him getting too giddy.
Oh man.
Yes, I could see him crashing. Just he's gotten used to the bike where he isn't wrestling it all the time, and this is the first track where he's going to be actually wrestling a bike again.
He's too good at COTA. He's too good.
Yeah. Cota's going to turn back into, you know, wrestling the bike again for the first time in a long time.
It'd be interesting to see how Rins and
Yamaha.
be interesting to see how Rins goes into Yamaha and Mav goes on the KTM. So yeah,
I never count on Mav.
Yeah, well, look, none of us did, and then he won last year. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it's a real kind of benchmark to where you were and where you are. Do you know what I mean? But saying that, you know, it will be good.
Look where Rins is at, and look at where Marquez is at.
Yeah. Like the only thing about COTA is it's not really the most exciting race. The first opening couple of laps are exciting, and then it's just like it's a little bit too long.
Yeah, it's a
track.
It's a cool paint. It's painted real well, and it looks good for the cameras. And if it was smooth, it would be a different story. It'd be a nice, smooth, fast-paced race. You know what I mean, like Jello. But what good is a nice long straightaways if they're your moto crossing across it?
I don't know. It's like if they could have found a better. Like there's a section after the end of the long straight, right, which is a bit Mickey Mouse, right? And then you come into like 2 fast killer corners at the end. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of like, if we could just get rid of that Mickey Mouse bit, do you know what I mean? It would be a fucking brilliant bike circuit. Do you know what I mean? But like for me, it's just.
You talk about where it comes down and it twists to the left and it twists to the right. I think it's right before the straightaway, the long straightaway.
No. So it's after the straightaway, and then like you come off the straight into a 90-degree left, and then there's like a Mickey Mouse bit there where they accelerate for a short bit, and then it's a long right-hand corner, I think, or long double right-hand corner, and then you come into like the killer last bit of it. You know what I mean? You're like, if it wasn't for that little loop in there, do you know what I mean? It would actually be a killer bit of track. Do you know what I mean? And like it just needs 1 or 2 more fucking dive bomb places where you can actually cleanly overtake. Do you know what I mean? Like if you look at it really, you have turn 1, then you come through all those squiggly bits, and then down into the hairpin before the long straight. That's 2. Then you have the left-hander at the end of the straight, that's 3, and then there's not really too much passing, only opportunity passing if someone makes a mistake or lifts up or you know what I mean,
or runs wide. You can only pass on the straights pretty much,
either into the longs, off a long corner or into a slow corner. But there's only a couple of slow corners in there that provoke the passing, let's just call it that way. And it's the same for the Formula 1. Do you know what I mean? The Formula 1 car going around the fucking Mickey Mouse section, it's not great. It's not great to watch. But look, it's one of those. I suppose one of those things. They try to create some of the best corners around the world when they were developing it, and fair play to them. But yeah, it is.
It's the only track we have out here for well, at least for MotoGP. Formula 1 has Las Vegas now, so
it is 3 of them now. It is COTA, it is Miami, and it is Las Vegas.
Yeah, they got 3. We need more for MotoGP. We need more tracks.
You're supposed to. They're always, like I say, it's supposed to. It's been on the books for years being made. There was one. Was it in South Carolina or Tennessee?
Tennessee. That's the new one, right?
It's the new one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who do we need to petition? Who do we need to talk to? Get more tracks out here.
Man, just go back to Laguna Seca. That used to be a fucking crazy track.
Yeah.
It was short. It was tight. It's probably too tight now and short for modern bikes. But,
too small.
Tight and short's great. I can tell you.
That's what she said.
That may be better though. To be honest, that might be better for the KTMs and
well, KTMs need the long straight, like, because they need to use their engine. And so one of the things Herb was saying that, like, and as Hervé Pancherel was saying, is that like this weekend it's going to be a good update for them to see where they actually are.
Which like that old Casey Stoner and Rossi, it felt like it looked like Rossi had more corner speed than Casey did. Casey.
I was watching a documentary on this recently, and Rossi just said, I just needed to be in front of him.
There you go.
Whatever it took, I just needed to be in front of him. If I was in front of him, he couldn't, like, if he got more than 2 corners away from me, he was gone. So I just fucking had to get in front of him. And that was a different level of riding to what was the current standard, or what was normally the current standard. Like, I I don't disagree that the move that Rossi pulled on Stoner in the hairpin, where he went over and through the hairpin, Rossi technically should have been by the stewards told give that place back. He passed him off the track.
Yeah, you got to be realistic.
Right. He went off track. The track. Do you know what I mean? So, but for me, what the amazing thing there was that fucking ambition. It was like, I have to be in front.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what Casey came up against that day was something that broke his spirit. Do you know what I mean? Like he realized then and there, I will do, or Rossi will do whatever he has to do.
Anything.
And that's the thing, lads, that separates these aliens from super aliens. Yeah, you can call it fucking cheating, you can call it this, and you can call it that, right? There is times in a battle that you have to do what you have to do.
It's like Rossi and Lorenzo and San Marino, remember? Or Masano was
Catalunya,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And he said, when Rossi goes, I'm sitting there, and he goes, if I crash, he will crash because I'm on the outside, I'm on the inside of him, and he's talking. He's like, I'm talking to my front tire, going, hold on. Just slide a little more. Don't go anymore. That's it.
If I crash, he crashes. Do you know what I mean?
But on the other side, if he crash, I crash. So
that's it. We both end up at zero. Do you know what I mean? And the concrete wall was already there at that point anyway, so it made no difference. Do you know what I mean? I'll just put another nail in the wall and hang another fucking picture of the crash. Just to piss you off.
We need that. We need that same excitement, like you said, the ambition.
Yeah, but I think that's what it was, and I remember that race in thing. I was screaming at the TV, right, and herself and her brother were in the other room going, "What the fuck is this dickhead doing?" Right, screaming at the TV, and then I nearly choked on a beer when I was watching Rossi and Lorenzo in Catalunya. I think it was 2010. Just like fucking epic. Do you know what I mean?
But we've had epic races this last couple of years too.
We have.
I mean, we've had to with the Bagnaia and
the Martin
and Martin and Enzo and we've had a lot of
in San Marino. Yeah.
Like that last
closer now than we ever had it in general. In general, if you took it by averages,
look,
no epic.
It is races. Epic. You know what? It becomes non-epic when you get used to it. You know what I'm saying? We have gotten spoiled of used to. Our expectations are now down to we want that Rossi Lorenzo race.
The Rossi Marquez Lorenzo Casey Stoner action.
We want it every time. And it's not realistic to want to get it every time.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Look, I think we're very much in danger. We're very much in danger of it becoming boring. And
you know what? That's what threw off my rubber question. But go ahead.
I met a fella yesterday, and he turned around to me and he said, "Your YouTube channel must be fucked now that Marquez is winning fucking all the races because everyone's going to find it boring." And I was like, I won't lie to you. The news coming from MotoGP around the world is actually very slow.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's not the same amount of grit or news or and while there is news, right? Like,
well, at least we're having honest. When we put out across an honest news, we don't put up bullshit. And it's getting to the point it's absolute bullshit news.
Oh yeah.
They're having people signed already. They have Acosta signed with VR45 already. VR46 already.
Yeah. No, look, I definitely think that's that's going to happen. Or I definitely think it's in the works. Like the manager, his managers are out already saying there's no need to worry or panic right now. Fucking right there is. Right? Do you know what I mean? Don't fucking state the obvious. Do you know what I mean? Fucking right there is. There's the your thing is going backwards. Like, do you know what I mean? So yes, there's a major reason to panic. So yeah, look, I just find things interesting where they're going this weekend. You know, it's very hard to look past the Marky Marquez victory. I think he will do it in style. I think the only thing I find very, I'm going to say weird, right? And I mean this in the thing, like you look at the races, in especially on the main races, the last two that we've had, Alex in second place, and Mark drops back. You know, now the one in Argentina, everyone was saying was like a mistake, but Mark didn't even seem to be ruffled by the mistake. Do you know what I mean? He was just like kept the gap to kind of 0.3, 0.6. And then, you know, for me, yeah, I just thought it was. I think it's just.
It has to be a strategy because they did it twice.
Yeah. Like I was at a soccer match this morning with my young fella, and there's two twins. Obviously, they're twins. Two boys, and they're twins. But they have this unreal connection with each other, and they were taking a free kick. And one pretended to take the free kick, and the other was going to take the free kick, right? But as the fella that was pretending to take the free kick went to kick the ball, the wall of people moved forward, and the referee blew, right? So we were all like, Jesus, their trick or their bluff is gone, right? Mm-hmm. And so the free kick had to be taken again. And then this time they reversed it. So the fellow that faked it the last time, the other fellow went to do it, and didn't the lads with the wall move again? And we were like, all right. So the ref blew it off again, and I was like, no, lads, he fucking can't do this. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then we were all standing there, and we were going, so what are they gonna fucking do now? Like, they have to just one of them just has to kick the ball at the goal, like. Mm-hmm. And they came up with another one. And you could even see the managers over there. Now, no one knew what was fucking going on. Only the two boys knew what they wanted to do. Like, it just shows you it's one of these things that are going on of trying in different methods and ways and stuff. So I don't know, Marky. I think he has to win this weekend. Really, do you know what I mean? It would put a big dent in him if he does crash out, I think. But look, we wait and see.
Oh, but what I was saying, by the way, hold on. When they had the why I jumped on that rubber story was I know why I just got my head discombobulated. They're saying the old timers are not happy. They're predicting that this new rubber and the new 2027 regulations are going to have everybody discombobulated. And the new regulations are going to stink.
Oh, I think Pirelli has better rubber though, don't they?
Well, no. I mean, they're both top tier. You know.
Oh. You know. Maybe I'm thinking of just street tires, but.
Yeah, I know. The only thing about they have grip Michelin tires, but they seem to wear quick. Don't you notice that? They wear.
I personally think myself. I don't think a tire war would be too bad.
Oh well, sure as hell ain't gonna have that now.
You meaning different tire manufacturers?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think a tire war would be that bad at all.
Like two tires, two manufacturers.
Two manufacturers trying to get it.
That'd be good.
That'd be interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big difference. If you were picking who's going to win what, the big thing was to like pick my tires right. because everything runs off of what tires you have.
Yeah, but you could kind of like, and this is why I still go back to what we said in the first pod about this, right? I just find it very strange that they decided to do it on a regulation change.
Yeah, that's what they were saying too. The old timers is why are they doing this now? That would either do one or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying they're doing everything at once.
Yeah, well, like so like your bike is designed around the tires, right? Regardless of what you really do, right? Like you can have all the power, all the aero, all the engineering that you want, but you can't get the fucking grip to the ground.
Good.
Done, right? Now everyone is going to go with a new tire that they have no real experience of or how it's going to be. So realistically, designing your bike is like, that's what it's going to be. Like finger in the air stuff. I think we're going this way.
Big guess.
Yeah, and it's completely less than optimum for. Completely less than optimum for anyone designing a bike.
That means that anybody can win at this point. It could be Aprilia, it could be KTM, it could be Honda. Anybody can come in and just take off and dominate.
Yeah,
depending on if you guess correctly. You get the tire, you guess the tire, how it's gonna grip, and
if you get it right, everybody else gets it wrong, you'll win.
Oh yeah,
that's what the tires always been. You know what I mean? That's the whole game period. That's you can say that every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why like it's so weird for me. It's like I would have thought that 1 or 2 years into the tire regs, then they moved to Pirelli. Do you know what I mean? And in that time, the teams would have a consistency with the tires to develop the bike. Joe, to the new regulations. And then they could kind of start thinking about a tire manufacturer change, which again, as we said, is really going to upset the apple cart again. And right now, when they do it, it's just it's just a big mess for me, if I'm honest. But it will be what it'll be. I'm sure some regulation will come out and say they have extra days of testing with the Pirelli tires on the current bikes or something like that. They'll have to give them some sort of reference.
A pre-test or
I think it's going to be more than one. I think they're going to need more than one, if I'm honest, they're going to need a couple of days of testing. I know Formula One did it when they moved from the 13-inch tires to the 18-inch tires. They they gave them a couple of days. Give them a couple of days just so they could understand the tires, or understand the tires and the wheels.
God damn, that's a hell of a jump. Anyway, you look at it.
5 inches in diameter, and then the cushion, and like
5 inches diameter. It's not even width of the tires. 5 inches diameter.
And move 13 inch from 13 to.
You know how many forces are changed right when you do that?
Yeah, but that's why they did it. I mean, they gave them time to understand it.
Blowing, didn't that tire? The 13 kept.
No, 13. No, 13s were great. 13s were absolutely great.
Let's really screw them up. Let's make it 18. Somebody had too many beers in them. Let's make it 18.
Well, actually, they did it. They did it because I don't know where you could actually buy a 13-inch diameter tire.
I don't know where the hell you buy an 18-inch tire.
Oh, they're all standard road cars now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I have a 22-year-old car.
16, 17, 18s, 19s, 20s. They'd all be fairly standard now.
The Porsches they're getting 20s on the Porsches.
Yeah. Look, there's cars here that have 22s. Like I know some of the EVs are fucking massive. But anyway,
2003 Ford Aerostar van. It goes. We ride, and all of a sudden the lights will click off for a second. I go, click, off on. Click, off on. I go, oh shit! I hope it doesn't go off and that stay that way.
See Jake driving with the fucking torch on his head.
No, I got
motherfuckers.
What's it called? I got a flashlight on the side of me.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, look, I suppose we can't leave the show today without a 1, 2, 3 for the weekend. Mm-hmm. So who wants to go first?
I'm not going first. You always make me first.
I'll go first, but you know what I'm going with.
Hey,
let's make
Let's make the Irishman go first. He always goes he pisses on us. Yeah.
There we go.
Heavy as
well, I all know you're going to say Marquez anyway, right? So I'll go Pecco. Right?
Pecco, he never does it.
Yeah. I'll go Pecco. I go Pecco, Marquez, and Zarco.
Ooh. Oh wow, Zarco.
Yeah.
I'll write that down. He's so full of shit. He'll change him time to time the race runs around. You know what I mean?
I'll remember that. I remember Pecco, Zarco. You said Pecco, Zarco.
You said Pecco, Marco. You say it again.
Oh,
Pecco, Mark Marquez,
and Zarco. Okay. I'm gonna go Mark. I really want Alex to win. He's gonna get a win if Mark will stop following him. I think Alex will get a win.
His brother,
but I really want to go Alex. To be honest, I really want to go Alex. But this is a Mark Marquez circuit, so I go Mark, Alex, and Zarco.
Well, I'm gonna go. Even though I think he's gonna crash, I'm gonna go Mark Marquez, and then I want to go
Morbidelli. There you go.
No, I'll go Pecco. You got to get it straight. Even though he's lousy at that track, though. God. Maybe we'll go Pecco and Iota.
Iagora.
The
rookie.
Not Bez? You don't want to go Bez?
No, I'm going to go with Iagora because he is a rookie and he doesn't know any better. He's going to just keep pushing on the bumps.
Tell them to stop updating the computer.
Oh, I know that was embarrassing, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that was dopey. Well, it's Aprilia. You know what I mean? They don't make mistakes in Italy. They make them on the
track.
On the track side, yeah.
Yeah. How did they even catch that? That's another topic.
I guess they could hear it. You could hear the difference in the engine tone. Like
all bikes go through scrutiny after the race.
Yeah, but it wasn't
afterwards.
Mm-hmm. After the race, they're all scrutinized as well.
But wasn't it supposed to? The computer was supposed to catch itself the way it's set up, and if it doesn't do that, now how do you
yeah?
How do you pick it up?
Because they actually didn't upload the software to it. I guarantee you, they just banged in fucking another ECU, never updated the software. That's what I think happened, genuinely.
Well, that's not going to give them an advantage, is it?
Well, Brivio said it wouldn't. But look, let's be fair, right? Anytime you upgrade any software or put new software onto a bike, it is performance related. It's upgrading something. Or it's a new protocol for something.
Yeah, like I say, it shouldn't give you a performance upgrade then on the other side you say, well, you wouldn't leave it on there if it didn't. You know what I mean? You're gonna test it. Does it help or hurt? Well, it helps. Well, we'll leave it on there, even if it doesn't say it's right or wrong.
Yeah. Anyway. And I suppose on that bombshell, we'll wrap up this week's one. We will be back again after the COTA race next week. I think, Jake, your buddy Chuck is coming on.
Yeah.
So we will wrap up.
Tom wants to come on too.
Okay. That's great. No hassle. We will arrange that. And
nice, we'll have a whole dozen people on here and keep it up.
That's it.
I need to bring somebody on here. One of the.
Oh, you need to show that you have a friend, CB, is it?
Yeah, I got to bring some friends on here.
I need to bring a friend on.
CB,
friend.
Yeah.
Plus one.
All right, that's it. Radio, sir. Listen, look, we'll wrap it up there, and we will see you all after COTA.
Take it easy, folks.
All right, have a good one.
Go ride in the summertime. Buy a bike.